The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another killer episode of Still Toking With. Yeah, you already know who I am, I think. Is that the voices in my head again? Voices in my head. Voices in my head. Voices in my head. Wow. Well, anyway, we have an excellent show for you tonight. I'm super excited about having this guest, but I can't spoil it for the gentleman that does the introductions of the guests because I just can't. So with that being said, the flashy man himself, Mr. Jeffrey Mark.
Hello, cats and kittens. Yeah, I'm excited too. I love having icons on our show, having wonderful conversations with them. But I'm not going to spoil it either, but I am going to spoil that we can't do this show without our third friend, the voice in your head. And that is the guy we love, Jeff Holman.
I do that just because I like when he says head. Yeah, no. And Mr. Mark, you look very colorful tonight, not just sparkly. I like all the colors you got going on too.
Well, I figured, red is probably appropriate for today.
Yeah, red,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to chatting with this guy here. That movie 50 years ago this year, for those that don't know that, 1975. I am one of those idiots that read the book I read the book first before the movie. Imagine that. I was 12. And I read a book. And when I read it, there were pages missing because apparently there was some sex shit going on in that book. and my mother decided to rip those pages out. I don't know. I guess she didn't want any masturbation in the bedroom.
You sure they didn't get stuck together?
Oh my!
No, they weren't. No. They were gone. You could see where they were just ripped out. You know, I never did find them. I went to the library though years later and read what I missed. Wasn't that exciting, to be honest. So, but anyway, let's get the show going. Mr. Jeffrey Voorhees, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
Fantastic.
Welcome. And like you brought up in your 20-minute fucking intro there, buddy. 50 years ago, Jaws was a cinematic hit. And who would have thought that we'd be sitting here 50 years later chatting to the gentleman that had one of the most epic kill scenes in cinematic history, Mr. Jeffrey Voorhees. And for those folks that are young and don't know who he is, he played Alex Kintner. So, yeah.
I'm celebrating my 50th year of being dead.
Right?
People are like, oh, congratulations. It's like, you've been dead another year.
What color was that raft you were on?
Oh, that was a yellow raft.
It was yellow. Okay. See, well, you passed that test. So
Right.
you still got your marbles after 50 years. Well, he's got one right there. Yeah, no shit. Okay. Nice.
Yes.
Ask and you shall receive.
That's
So,
right.
Just
You never
real
know.
quick for our viewers and our listeners, Mr. Jeffrey Voorhees will be at Frightmare on the Falls in Niagara this coming weekend, and I believe the raft that he just showed you might actually accompany him. But if it doesn't, he will be there. So get off your ass, get down there. Don't swim across the falls to see him. Do it the right
Maybe
way.
he'll bite you on it.
Well, if you get on that raft on the falls, it's going to be a lot bloodier. That's
Yeah,
all
not
I'm
be a
saying.
shark attack. It might be just a
Right.
fall attack.
Right?
That you're on the Canadian side. That's the Canadian side, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just for all those
Excellent.
people that want to go that don't have their passports or anything like that.
The
Yeah,
people
well-
that run are like, don't forget, you need your passport. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, no, you're on the Canadian side. Oh, okay. I better bring my passport.
Right? But
Does
if
it
you
does your passport list you as dead?
Well, that's the nice thing, you get all over, if you're dead, you get all sorts of benefits. So it pays to die. I've
So-
been dead for 50 years now, or 51 actually.
Right. Well, you're speaking of benefits and things like that, and I remember an interview that we had quite a few years back. Different hosts and things were on the show with us. We were talking about your pay stubs and how you used to get your checks in the mail, and you'd sign them and you'd throw the pay stub away, and then one day you were at a convention and somebody got you a pay stub to sign.
Yeah, it was really odd because we have a restaurant. It was, people would come into our restaurant in Martha's Vineyard, Amity Island, and a waitress would come up and go, oh, table 31, they got something they want you to sign. It was in a picture frame. And I thought it was a picture of me dying. And I look at it, and something about royalty checks. I never knew about that when I first started doing the movie. It's like, I was making 140 a day. All my friends only made $40 a day, but I had a speaking part, so I got an extra $100. But I never knew about royalties. Like the first time it came on TV, it's like, what the hell is this? Thousands of dollars. And it looks like a regular paycheck. The top part will say Universal Studios, and then with your name on it, and then you sign the check, and the bottom half's like a paycheck. It'll say what network it's shown on, how much the check's for, Social Security, the last 4 years Social Security, taxes, union dues, all that. And you throw that away. It's like a paycheck. You don't want that part. And you cash the top part. And these people from England came in the restaurant, and The waiter's like, oh, they got something I want you to sign. It's in a picture frame. I thought it was a picture of me dying. I look at it, Universal Studios, episode Jaws, CBS, and my name, and then the last four of my social security, how much the check was for like $1,500 or whatever, and how much I paid for taxes, union dues, the last four of my social, and something I threw in the trash. I go, it's like, what the hell? I go, where the hell did you get this? And they were from England. And this is like 10 years ago. And it was like I go, this is something I threw in the trash back in 1981. Where the hell did you get this? And she's like, oh, I think we got a good deal. We got it on eBay. I'm like, I go, 1981. I go, how much did you pay for something I threw away back in 1981? She goes, oh, I think we got a great deal. We got it for $7,800. And it's like, oh my God. It's like they paid $7,800. So I don't throw away any check stubs anymore. It's like
I thought I was unhappy with eBay for my shit that goes for sale that should be coming to me, but goes to some, but not for $7,800. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's where some people I sign with are like, if the check's not over 100, don't sign it. Like one time in England, the check was for like $48, and they do a silent auction, and at the end, if whoever bids the most comes back the final day, I sign the back of the check. They keep the whole thing. I stand up, get a picture with them. I think someone paid $1,800 for the last time we did one of those things, a silent auction, and they could keep the whole check. Wow. It's like, and the check was for like $38 or something.
So former child actor to former child actor. How did child actor you end up shirtless in the water getting eaten by a shark? What was that process like?
God damn, if you know New England at all, you don't want to swim here until like July. And they were filming this. We just moved to Martha's Vineyard. I was just a 12-year-old kid. We just moved here that year, and word got out. They're like, they're making a movie. They need a lot of extras. They'll pay you $40 a day to be an extra in it. And it's like, shit, let's sign up. It's like, we just walked a little further down the street. It's a small island, signed up to be extras. Didn't even know the name of the movie or anything. And then get a call back a few days later. It's like, some people want to talk to you. You go down, you walk back down to a hotel, the Kelly House in Eggertown. And Spielberg, he was only 27. It's him and two other people in this room. And he's got some papers, and he got some things highlighted. He goes, read the highlighted lines there. And it's like, okay, to be an extra for $40, I'll read these. So I start reading a few things, and he goes, okay, fill out all this paperwork. I go, to be an extra? He goes, no, that's to join SAG. You're going to get a speaking part. You have to join Screen Actors Guild, but you'll get $140 a day. And I still didn't know I was going to die in the movie. It's like, oh, that's great. I got to get $140 a day, 12-year-old kid. And then later on, I found out I was going to get eaten by a shark, and I die. It's like, and then they were filming that in the spring. Here on this island explodes come Memorial Day weekend, and that they had to deal with. Universal was supposed to have most of the land scenes done before the end of May. And if you know the water, it's cold. So, at first Spielberg goes, beg to go in the water. And when you get down near that water, just get down with your raft and you're done. You don't have to go in. And all my friends on the beach, all those kids that start running in the water, my brother, all my friends, Spielberg tells them, okay, when he starts picking up the raft, you guys all start grabbing toys, go in the water. And it was so shallow, he tells them to get on your knees and stay on your knees and play until we stop filming. And I didn't even have to go in the water. All my friends had to go and freeze their little asses off. And I was getting $140 a day. And they were only making $40 because the mechanical shark, Bruce, they had it in an old blush with the harbor. It's pretty shallow. So, and it's flat surface. So that's where all the mechanical shark scenes were. And Spielberg goes, no, your scene, you're going to swim. You're going to get near the water, and that's it. You're done. Because the mechanical shark, back in the 70s, horror movies, King Kong, Godzilla, that's a horror movie back then. And this one, the mechanical shark comes up, and the mannequin looked just like me. They put a little mannequin on a raft, and the mechanical shark, Bruce, comes up and bites this mannequin. And the head's spinning up in the air. The arms and legs are going every direction. And they're like, oh, my God, this is back in the 70s. They're going, people will get up and leave the movie if we leave this in here. this is too gory. I mean, you could do that in a movie now, getting a kid's head blown off, but they go, no, we can't do this. And that's where Spielberg goes, change your plans.
Yeah.
And that's where they change it, where he goes, you're going to have to go back in the water. And he goes, now I'm going to have to go in that cold water. And he goes, now swim out like 20 yards. And that's where you'll see there's like a big barrel just under the water full of blood. And he goes, when you get near that barrel, we'll say cut. And then, so I swim out there. It's in May. I'm freezing my little ass off. And it's like, and they had a raft that's cut in half. And the back half, they pulled over this barrel full of blood. And the front was still blown up. So I'm lying on top of this barrel now full of blood. And behind it, you can see a little ring. It's like it has two fins right under the water. So when this thing explodes, this circle is going to go around. You'll see the fins going. And he goes, lie on top of this thing now, and then we'll start filming. And when that explodes, go into water and stand in there as long as you can. And so you're 12 years old, freezing your ass off. This thing's going to explode. The first time we try it, bam, blood shoots up in the air. I mean, if you can see this, like that's what they were going to use at first, the mechanical shark. That's a mannequin. And that was like land down in Oak Bluffs Harbor. And they said, we can't do this. So they end up using the one where I go in the water. And Spielberg's like, beg to go in. And when you get down near that water, when you get near the barrel, they pulled the raft over. He goes, now when it explodes, go in the water and stand there as long as you can. So you're 12 years old, freezing your little ass off. The first time, bam, blood shooting up your nose and your eyes. Go into water and freeze my ass off. And I swim ashore finally. I go to Spielberg. He was only 27. I go, okay, we all set? And it was so cold. And he's like, wanted everything perfect. And he was really nice. And I go, what? He goes, no, we're going to have to do it again. Your arm came out of the water. And he goes to all my friends and me, he's like, do whatever you guys want for 5 hours, but everyone come back, because then they had to wait for all that blood to clear out. And he goes, when that blood clears out, we'll try it again. And then we're all freezing cold. There's no buses back then. We got dropped off there in the morning. So we're all freezing our asses off out on the beach. And then all of a sudden someone comes down to me and goes, Jeff, it's too cold out here. I go, I know, it's cold. It's like, and they had a robe, and he goes, gives me a robe and a bottle of water. He goes, let's go inside. We got some dressing rooms over here. Anyone in SAG, you're part of the union. This is too cold out here. And all my friends are freezing cold because I screwed up. And I felt bad the first day. And then day 2 comes around. Oh, your leg came out of the water. Day 3, your arm came out of the water. And that's where I had a robe on me. See you guys later. I'm going where it's warm. It's like, and then finally on day 5, Spielberg goes, this is taking way too long. He goes, this time we got 2 guys in wetsuits. They each have their own air tank, and they're going to have an extra air tank under there for you. And when that explodes, they're going to lift you in and out of the water about 3 or 4 times, then pull you under and give you air. So like you see when in the movie where the kid's in mouth, it's not a shark pulling you under. It's 2 guys, and like you're gasping for air there because you just went underwater. They pull you under, and your mouth's full of water and blood and spitting. And then they pull you under, and then they give you air, and then come ashore. And I'm thinking, okay, something got screwed up. I go to Spielberg. Are we all set now? Thinking he's going to go, no, we got to do it. He goes, no, perfect. We're all done. So it took 5 days for me to die.
It took, and I bet your friends were pissed off.
Yeah, they got 40 bucks a day for me to die. It took 5 days for me to die, but every day it took for me to die, it's like, oh, another $140 when you're 12 years old. That's pretty good.
Right.
The union guy in me has to ask you, was there a social worker on the set for you?
No, that's up in Susan. Chrissy, the girl that she was a sweetie, and I used to hide. I never used to do these signings and stuff. And they finally, year after year, they came into our restaurant. Come on, try it. We'll fly you there. And I'm like, I'm too busy. Go away, because this island's a madhouse in the summer. And I've been running restaurants and bars for years. And finally, I said, okay, I'll try it. And I would go down. I'd be with Susan and Richard a lot. And anytime I signed with Susan, she was a sweetie. She always writes first victim. And then I would write second victim and sign my name. But then I was doing a Q&A with her, and she was talking about how someone goes, oh, well, you got hurt a lot in that thing we heard. It's like, yeah, I don't think the union will let that happen anymore. She goes, I was 27 years old, and they had me connected to ropes, dragging me back and forth. and her neck was screwed up for years. And then she goes, this guy over here, I got to know Susan. She was a sweetie. She's like, this guy here was a 12-year-old kid lying on something that's going to explode blood. And she's like, I don't think that would happen anymore, even with unions or anything, with a 27-year-old lady getting dragged back and forth and a 12-year-old kid lying on something exploding. So she was a sweetie, but she would always say they didn't want to let that happen anymore.
But even in the 70s, there were supposed to be social workers and people for every kid actor had to have one by union rules. That's why I'm surprised there wasn't.
No, they only had like 2.5 months. They're going to try. It was only going to be like 3.5 million, 2.5 months to get it all filmed. That's how they got Robert Shaw, because he only had so many more months left on his, or he'd lose a lot of money because he's from England. But it took longer and longer. So they were cutting rules and regulations. I mean, you see people walking off the boat, with the American flags, getting ready for the celebration. That was being filmed in May in Vineyard Haven. And they didn't even have to get permission for, nowadays you have to have everyone sign their name, giving permission. And they weren't even supposed to be filming it. And that was July 4th. They were trying to get people coming off to make a look. So they were breaking rules, and it was a lot. They were trying to get it real quickly and cheap, and they broke so many rules and regulations all over the place.
Well, maybe that's why the movie made such a success.
Well, they almost threw it in the trash because they went way. It was like 6 months, and then they went way over the limit, almost double the price, and they were about to throw it in the trash. And well, I'm glad they didn't, because
right. Even though you did.
Well, at first they weren't even going to do it on the Vineyard because that book just came out, and Peter Benchley, I guess, if you read the book, it's a lot different from the movie, because you have the mafia in there, and then Brody's wife's having an affair with Richard Wright. It's like, they're like, we can't have all this. So half that book, they had to rewrite the whole thing. But at first, Peter Benchley, they go, we got to find a place in New England, a place on the coast where you have a lot of fancy tourist place for all, where Edgartown, where you have all the parades and stuff. Something in New England, you have the tourists and then the fishing and the sharks. And Peter Benchley was like, oh, his family always went to Nantucket for years when they growing up. And he goes, oh, we went there for years. Check that one out first. So like Joel's and stuff, when they were going up to look around, they were going to Nantucket, and it was in December, and they got on the boat. Back then, there was only one boat leaving from Woods Hole to both islands. Now one goes from Hyannis. But there, they got on that boat to Nantucket, and it was a blizzard, in December. They canceled the boat to Nantucket because that's like a 2-hour boat ride. And they go, it's not going to run. And then they get back to Woods Hole, and they go, wait a minute, the boats at Martha's Vineyard are still running because that's like a 45-minute. They go, let's just check that one out and just go. We have nothing else to do. Let's go look at the Vineyard. And they went over there and they saw, you had, State Beach. It's nice and shallow water for all the shark scenes. That's where all Edgartown, Oak Bluffs Beach, the State Beach, shallow water. So that's where all the shark scenes were. And then Oak Bluffs, the harbor, that's where all the mechanical shark, they needed like 7 or 8 feet of water for that shark to be, it's like on a railroad track. And so Oak Bluffs worked good, and that's where Brody's house was. And they go, Menemsha looks like a perfect fishing village. And so basically, if that blizzard didn't happen, I'd probably still be alive. They never would have filmed it here on the island. So I got lucky with that little storm.
Let's take the thought 6 or 8 months or a year later. So you finish the film, it comes out, and this film that almost didn't make it becomes this huge blockbuster. How does that affect you at school with your friends?
Oh, we always thought it was funny at first because, back in the 70s and 80s when a movie came out, it was a big thing for a week or two and a month late. And then, okay, they won't show it again for another year. And then it would come out again a year later. And back then, without so much internet and, that was the big thing. We all said, okay, let's go watch the movie. And in Edgartown, we just moved to the island. They had a movie theater that burnt down before we got here. And we used to watch movies above the town hall in Eggertown. They showed movies there. And that's where I watched them when I was a kid. And people are like, where'd you watch the movie first? It's like, you know, the scene where Quint comes in and he scratches on the chalkboard? That's the Eggertown Town Hall. And that's where they would show movies for years. So we were watching the movie on the next floor up when they came out. So it's like, oh, yeah, it's funny. You're watching the movie. It's like, oh, right when he comes in and scratches the chalkboard, it's like, oh, that's right, the floor below us, or right when you walk out the door, it says Amity Town Hall. Right next to it, Sheriff, the kids are karate chopping the fence. It all looks exactly the same. Or you look at the trees, and we were like laughing because this was supposed to be July 4th, and if you know this Cape and the Islands, it's like a month behind in the spring and the fall. Like here, I'm not going to touch my leaves for another couple of weeks. It's still green out there, but in the spring, the leaves don't come out. If you go off Cape Cod, there's flowers and all the trees are green by mid-May. And here, it's like not till June when they're all out. And they were filming it. So you watch, if you're looking up at the trees, we were watching the movie. And it's like you look up at the trees, half of them don't even have leaves on them yet. And it's supposed to be July 4th or parade scenes, you know, the kids coming around. It's all going the wrong direction. So we got a good laugh out of it. We used to break in and climb all over the shark. And we were like, we afraid of the shark. It's like the yacht club had a warehouse where they stored Bruce. It was like the left side, the right side. And back then there's not alarms and cameras. And we go down there at night with flashlights. Okay, this window's open. And we used to go in and climb all over that shark. And one time I was with Joe Alves before I started doing all these. I never did signings, and now I do like 3 a year. They fly all over the place and get to know like the Friday the 13th people. I do with those guys. But Joe, I was doing a Q&A with him once, and he's like, oh, how the shark, because he just came out with a new book, how the shark was broken. He's like, oh, how the shark broke down all the time. It wouldn't work for 10 days in a row. And and then when I got the microphone, I didn't really know him then. And he's like, I go, well, I got to come out and tell the truth. We were just little kids, but we used to break in and climb all over that shark all the time. Maybe that's why it didn't work. And he looked over it like he wanted to kill me. And now he's used to me now because he was down here on the island back in June. And every time I see him now, it's like this little old guy. He's a nice guy. I go, Joe, you bring the shark back? I'm bored. I need something to play on. He's like, get away from me. It's like, so it's just funny. Over the years, watching it the first time, you know, never knew about royalties. So get a royalty check. That was nice.
Jeffrey, my question was less about what you did with your friends as like, did anyone treat you differently at school because they saw the film and they saw you? And was there any pushback? Was there any jealousy? How did it impact you personally?
Well, I started saying, it was like back then, it wasn't a movie came out. It was great for a year or two. But, you know, watching all your friends at school, it's like, oh, you died. You got more than we got. Or the sheriff's oldest son, Chris Rebello, he passed away, but we were good friends. And he's like, I get more money than you because I don't die so quickly. It was more just fun watching the movie. And after a few years, it kind of, you know, by the end of the 70s, Jaws was long gone until basically until the internet days. I would get people to mail me photos for years, and I used to sign them and mail them back. And so basically over the years, you know, you get all these, I would mail them back until the internet came around. Finally, I'd be mailing these things back, and then finally you look on the internet and people be selling them for $100 an autographed photo. And that's where I stopped signing them. But after the internet came around, that's where it exploded. I mean, that's where, as I was saying, you're saying, did it change anything? For 5 years, it was all your friends were like, oh, you got more than us because you got eaten by the shark, but you got you say a couple lines and you made more. It was just fun. I got a laugh out of it. I said, that's what happens when you die. You get paid to die. It's like, but it was fun making it. But later on, after the internet, that's where, you know, I used to hide from it. People would come down to our restaurant. Oh, it's like, leave me alone. And I would mail stuff back. But the internet, I mean, now I was just doing a signing in England. It's like, I'm standing on some corner with some people and it's like cars are going by. And the point is, that's Alex Kintner. It's like, oh my God. It's like some 12-year-old kid in a movie 50 years ago, and people know they know exactly where you are now. It's like, oh my God, that's crazy.
You can't hide.
Yeah.
Even if you're
Yeah.
dead.
But so I wanted to ask you, how many of the kids that you were in school with were actually in the film?
Quite a bit. They came down here with a real low budget film, and almost, yeah. They also, that was a big thing they were saying. They say, let's try to keep it with people from the island to make it, not bring in actors from California on some little island with a tourist area. They go to make it look more like. Plus, they only had so much money to spend. So I mean, besides Robert Shaw, Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, I mean, most of them were pretty much from the island. Susan, the girl that died before me, Chrissy, she wasn't. She did a lot of, scenes in movies that are getting destroyed. But Lee Fierro, my mother in the movie, she was kind of from the island. And I mean, Brody's wife, she did some movies, and it doesn't help because I think she was married to Universal, some big names. But they had a low budget, so they wanted all the people, like everyone in the movie. When you're watching, it's like, oh, there's my friend, there's my brother, there's our doctor, all these people. It's like you knew everyone in there. And so they didn't want to spend much money. And so basically that's how it all, at first they're saying, we want to make it look like New England people, but they just threw that together. They want to do it quickly. They didn't want to have, like the house, Brody's house, they found some house. They paid the people to leave the house, but they said, you got to leave everything in there. The kids' toys, the dog bowls, the wine glasses. And they paid them money for that, but just so they could be in the New England house. And so they used the house for like 2 months. And so basically everything on the island, like all the stores, the little hardware store where you see Brody, Beach's clothes sign, that was actually the hardware store. They just used the island as it was. Up in Menemsha where Quinn's boat pulled in, all those buildings look exactly the same. They said that was perfect. So, and everyone in it. The only difference was, they made $40 a day or none. A lot of people didn't get anything. And if you had a speaking part, you got 140. So that's pretty good when you're 12.
Right. So
it was a family-friendly movie then.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know I was going to die, but it's a family.
I want to know
down here a little bit, and we all signed up to be in that. And they start going, okay, they only did a little on the island, but we all signed up. And then they start going on the list. Okay, everyone come back tomorrow. And the guy's going down this list. And he goes, wait a minute, Jeff Voorhees. I go, yeah. He goes, you can't be in this. I'm going, why not? He goes, you died in the first movie. I'm going, I'm older. I look different. He goes, no, if the media ever found out, you ruined the movie. Go away. So all my friends are in the second one. Me, I'm walking away all depressed. Like, I'm dead. I can't be in the second one.
But I want to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is the Alex Kintner burger?
Oh, that was around for a while. It's, a fish sandwich with a cut up red pepper. It's like a sauce on top. And that was a hot item for years. And the Alex Kintner burger, but it's crazy. Alex Kintner burger, there was a beer out. I was doing a signing, and there's a beer. Oh, what's the name of this thing? I didn't even know they had a beer out. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kintner Kid.
And it's a red ale. And the back is talking about, how it's talking about how the ale is the color of the water, a red IPA. And it's like, oh my God, that. And then Alex Kintner, there's sandwiches, there's Alex Kintner all over I see there's someone has one of these signs with me on it. It's like, and then another one, it's like, the Alex Kintner, you have, action figure dolls that these people were making. And it's, a little kid with blood all over it. It's like, wait a minute. I'd like the one with the beer, I was going to try to get a hold of the company. They were up in Maine. I was going to say, you're going to pay me to come up there and sign some cans, or I'll come up there and sign PBR cans for 50 cents each across the street. It's like, so people did use that name over the years for me dying 50. And it's, something 50 years ago, you get some real Jaws fanatics out there.
Right.
I mean, I was doing a signing in England, and the security guard comes up to me and goes, "We always give people a heads up if there's anyone crazy waiting in line." And I go, "What are you talking about? There's over 120 actors and artists at this one." And I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "No, he wants to be first one in your line. He's been here since 2 a.m." I go, "Yeah, I don't think it's me." I go, "It's got to be a real actor." I go, "I'm in the movie for a minute." He goes, "No," he said, "Jeff Voorhees, Alex Kintner." And the guy comes up. He had Jaws tattoos all over his body. And he goes, "Oh, can you show me how you write your name?" And I signed a piece of paper. He goes, "That will fit." And right on his knee, he had the orca on the left leg. And then he had sharks and a shark's biting his knee. And he goes, "That name will fit in the shark's mouth. Can you sign right in the shark's mouth on the kneecap?" And it's like, oh my God. So I signed in the shark, and I'm holding my name, and I got a picture of me standing next to him. And he was so psyched. And the final day, I'm like, go to the security. I go, "Isn't that the guy that was here? He was the last one in line the final day." I go, "I wonder if he wanted something else." And he comes up, he goes, "Oh my God." I go, "Did you need something?" He goes, "I was so nervous when you signed it. When I got to the tattoo place, it sweated off. Any chance you could re-sign it?" It's like, oh God, I'll re-sign your knee for you. But that was like one of the first tattoos of a 12-year-old autograph. I lost count. It's around 25 right now. My autograph is tattooed on over 25 bodies. So that's crazy for something 50 years ago.
Wow.
You're lucky it was only a knee.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the most interesting thing you signed?
Well, this one girl down in Tampa. No, it was what was it? Richard was at that one. It was one of the last ones they did with Susan. This girl had horror movie tattoos all over her body, right up to her neck, and like, right next to the shark is what's the white dove? I mean, the white moth. It's a white moth. It's a horror movie.
Mothra.
Silence of the Lamb. Okay. That's right near the Jaws logo.
Okay, yeah.
And she goes, I didn't know you were going to be here. I have no room left. And she goes, any chance he could sign it over the Jaws logo? Because that is right on her. She had that sign tattooed on her leg. And I go, I don't care. And she starts pulling her skirt up. It's up in her crotch. And I go, oh my God. It's like, and the security guy goes, no private parts. And she goes, what? He goes, he's not signing any private parts. And they took her out of the line. And I felt bad. You know, she waited in Rich's line for like 4 hours, and she was in mine for a couple hours. And then later on, we're having a drink at a bar. I was with Larry and the people from Friday the 13th. And that's where that girl, she saw us, and she comes over. I can't believe you wouldn't sign that. I go, believe me, I'm there with these other people. It's like, I don't want to deal with it. I go, I have nothing to do with that. They make the rules. I go, tomorrow it starts at 10. Are you going to be back there tomorrow? I go, get there at 9:30 before the security. I'll sign it if you want. And she actually showed up the next day, and I signed. It's up in her crotch, right up. She just like pulls her pants way up there. So I signed it, and then she's like, here's the 50. I go, the people collecting aren't even here yet. Just send me a photo. Text me the photo when you get the. So I had that. I saved that. It's right over the Jaws logo. My autograph's that tattooed. So I mean, that one, or a girl in New York was like, the security guy goes, she's like, can he sign anything? Because people will bring coins. They'll bring some odd things. A lot of people bring a raft or a shark. And the guy's like, yeah, whatever you got, he'll sign it. And she starts pulling her shirt up. And the guy's like, no private parts. And, I got all the jaw stuff under my left breast. And he's like, he's not signing under the breast. And because he got kids in the line. And then finally, she's like, well, how close can you get to that? All of it's right under and the security guy goes, he'll do it right under your collarbone. So I signed that one under her collarbone, and she got it. So there's been some odd ones over the years. It's funny, though.
Even I've signed a titty. It's not that unusual.
Right.
Yeah, but he's right. Like at a comic book convention, it's
you can't do that there.
You know,
They frown on that. Yeah,
50 people in line, and kids all over the place. But things like that. It's just funny. And I used to hide from those things and finally started doing some signage. They fly all over the world. You have a good time. And
Sure.
like Larry, like people I sign with, I would meet up with Larry. His name was in the movie, the guy with the hockey mask, Friday the 13th. And in the movie, I never did signings. I'd be going, holy shit. I started doing them more. I do it with a lot of the Friday the 13th people, Adrian and stuff. And I go, look at this. I go, I'm in a movie for 1 minute, and these people are all wearing shirts with my name on it, hockey shirts that say Voorhees. And that's where Larry, he's like, you idiot. That's my name in the movie. I never knew that. As some guy had that one, I bought, the guy had a beer, almost gone. I go, I bought 2 beers. I go, I bought you a beer, but can I get a picture standing next to that shirt? I always thought that was my shirt. So I'm standing next to the guy holding a beer with him. But that's where I got to know Larry and those guys. And anytime they were together, like we were just over in England last fall, about a year ago, and they go, anytime you guys sign together, we got to put you at the same table. We want the Voorhees that was killed and the killer Voorhees. And so I always signed. Me and Larry are always at the same table, the killer Voorhees and the Voorhees that was killed.
Now, do you think there's some strange connection and that was in a way done on purpose? I mean, Jaws came out in 75, Friday the 13th came out in 78.
It's not a big popular name.
Exactly. So how, you know, I think there might be a connection there, and they use that name on purpose.
So should I get a lawyer?
No, more royalties though might help.
Right.
I think the statute of limitations has run out on that one.
Right.
Oh, no. I still get, I died 50 years ago in the statute of limitation. I was just wishing someone happy birthday on the beach where I died a few hours ago. Those cameos.
Yep.
I never used to do those. And we would have people come into a restaurant. I'd be over doing a signing over in Europe, and we flew all the way over here to meet them. And they were so upset. They came just to meet me, and I wasn't on the island. And the people I signed with are like, do cameos in case you miss someone. So I started doing those, and people love it. I run my dog on the beach where I got eaten. So it's like, hey, from the dead Alex Kintner, here's where I was eaten 50 years ago. But you get some strange ones. Back in April, I just got back from Key West, and it was like, oh, our son's the biggest Jaws fan. His birthday's April 14th. Can you wish him a happy birthday? Mention the parents' name, Tim and Carol, but mention Alex Kintner, Jeff Voorhees. He'll never forget this. He's the biggest Jaws fan on the face of the earth. This will be the best birthday present of his lifetime. And so make sure you wish him happy birthday. He's going to be one. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I think this is for the parents. But last year, the real strange one was, oh, our father was a big Jaws fan, but he died watching the movie on the couch. Can you send your regrets? It's like, what the hell? And I called I call these guys in Chicago. I go, what the hell is this? And he's laughing. He goes, yeah, you get some strange one. He goes, you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. If you don't answer it in 3 days, they get their money back. And I'm like, shit, what the hell? I'm down there running my dog on the beach. So I'm holding my phone up. I go, hey, your father and I had a little something in common. He died watching me die. This is the dead Alex Kintner, Jeff Voorhees, here on Martha's Vineyard, Amity Island. Have a jawsome funeral. And I thought they were going to be pissed. Have a jawsome funeral. And they were like, 5 stars. Thank you so much. It's like, oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God. I love
All
it.
for being dead.
Right. So folks, there you go. Make sure you check the show notes up above or down below. You can find out where Jeffrey's going to be signing, or if you want a cameo from him, the link is in the show notes.
Well, they go to the deadalexkintner.com, and that's where they get a raft or something if they wanted one.
Yep, that's all in the show notes. So if you want some of his merchandise, his website is in the show notes. And
but that lady, Lee Fierro, my mother in the movie, it was funny. She came into a restaurant a few years before she passed away. I go, holy shit, there's Lee Fierro, my mother in the movie. And I told the waitress, I got this table. It was in the spring, and she's really old. I did an interview with her when Obama was on the island, and she was getting so old, and she was there with some older lady. I didn't know her friend. I go down to the table, and her friend, I go, okay, ladies, I'm pretending I'm a waiter. I'm like, okay, ladies, you ready to order? And her friend looks up and goes, yes, can I start? And she starts ordering. I go, okay, before we go any further, can I ask you a personal, odd question? Tell me to go away if it's too strange. And her friend's like, what? And all of a sudden Lee looks up and she saw me. She's like, oh, yes, of course. She knew it was me. And she's like, I go, okay, it's a little odd, but tell me to go away if it's too strange. And she goes, yes. And she knew it was me. And she's like, sweet little old lady. She's like, yes, what? I go, well, it's a little odd, but any chance do you believe in reincarnation? Because I think I died years ago and you look like my mother in my previous life. And her friend's like, looks at me like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden her eyes light up. She's like, oh my God, I had a son that died back in the 70s. How did you die? And I go, I was only 12, but it was in the ocean. She goes, well, did you drown? I go, no, I think I was killed. She goes, well, were you run over by a boat? I go, no, I think it was an animal. And then her eyes are lighting up. She goes, oh my God, any chance were you eaten by a shark? I go, I was 12, but I think I was a great white shark that ate me years ago. She goes, oh my God, you're my son. And she gets up and hugs me. And her friend's about to have a heart attack. And she's like, hey, we were in that movie years ago. So it's like things like that. She was a sweetie. Got to know. And, Jaws over the years used to hide from it. But now it's more fun. You meet up with people and you do a signing and some girl's crying and she's been waiting in line. This one 12-year-old girl, she had a little raft that I signed. It's like, it makes some people so happy. You get a little high off of that too. So it's fun.
Right. Well, and that you bring up a great point. A little 12-year-old girl, 12 years old, folks, with a raft, getting emotional because she's meeting you for something that happened 50 years ago. There's not a lot of films out there that can say that on a 50th anniversary, they still have the hype that they did more or less when it came out. So your target audience is literally people of our age, because I was born in the 70s, Jeff, and Jeffrey. So we saw it. And now you have a younger generation that is following suit. It's insane.
I watch it every year. So
yeah,
I
you have every right to get a little high off of that.
Absolutely.
No, you make some people so happy, and people are waiting in line, and they're just so. I was did one down in Connecticut down there. They were celebrating the 250th the naval base, and this one little kid had a Jaws. Mother's like, "Oh, he wants you to sign the shirt," and I thought they had another Jaws shirt, and I signed the shirt he was wearing. It's like you get people of all ages, and it's it makes them so happy. And some of them, like some would come in a restaurant, and some little kid that it's like I would sign. I go, this guy, he doesn't have to pay. It's like a 6-year-old that was so happy and was taking a picture. It's like just he can have it. It's a free autograph. It's like,
but Jeffrey, this is the difference between being an icon and not being an icon. When you were making Jaws, your first film, I was making my first film. What was that? Nobody remembers. That's my point. I was making a movie.
right?
I was making a movie with Peter Fonda. Not one person has come up to me and asked me to sign their crotch because I made Fighting Mad with Peter Fonda. So own your specialness.
Right.
Now, believe me, I used to hide from it, and now 3 or 4 a year, Germany, England. You fly all the. And some people get so happy, and you're there partying with some real actors and stuff. It's like, oh, you have fun. Like Adrienne, she has a winery, and Friday the 13th people, and so it's something I used to hide from for years. And now it's like, especially since I stopped working, 100 hours a week, it's like, you fly all over, you make people happy, you make a few bucks, and you get to see lots of the world, all for dying 50 years ago.
Right. But the beauty of it is you wouldn't even have to fly. You literally could go up to the bridge, Edgartown Bridge, sit down at a table with some pictures.
Yep.
And I guarantee you would make bank just because, I live in New England. I've traveled to the island numerous times. So one of my questions was going to be, you must have gone to all the fireworks displays that they had in Oak Bluffs back, in the day. What was the best seat you ever got at one of those fireworks displays?
Well, in Edgartown, if you've been down there, the Wharf Pub and Restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I was in there for like 30 years, And that's a madhouse. You know, we're open year round, and then you have band entertainments every night. And so every night in the winter, you have 20 people working there. Summer, you have like 140 people working. And you have a band every night. Winter, you have one bartender on at night and say, at least stay open till 10. And then if it's dead, close up. Summer, you have 6 bartenders, 5 bouncers, a band every night. And like on the 4th of July, where they had the fireworks in Edgartown, you have the parade, and the restaurant's packed before the parade.
Mhm.
And then the parade comes in, and then you're packed again. And then they all empty out for the fireworks, and you get ready for the band. And then we always get up on the roof. The restaurant's all empty again because people are watching the fireworks. Get up on the roof, get a beer, have a drink up on the roof while the fireworks are going off. So we always had a perfect seat right on the roof next on the harbor there. So for years, and even when I stopped working a couple of years ago, my nephews are like, oh, they still go down the wharf and they still go up on the roof to watch the fireworks. It's like, I'll go down there and have a drink up on the roof. Oh, I got to go watch the fireworks on the roof.
Yeah. And meanwhile, folks, you know, the president or celebrity style like that is in a house set back away from the crowd watching the fireworks. You were up on a roof, and my cousin was a lieutenant in the fire department in Oak Bluffs. So my family used to go down. We actually used to lay on top of the fire engine in the ambulance right on the beach watching them.
Perfect. And the Oak Bluffs ones are even better than Edgartown. The Oak Bluffs they just started doing a few years ago.
Yeah.
Edgartown, when they do them down there on the 4th of July, it's still foggy. So half the time you see the clouds light up, and that's about it.
Right. Yeah. The Oak Bluffs ones, we used to do that too. And they do that in August, though.
Yes, they want to get their share of the crowd. So they do theirs in August.
Right.
And Oak Bluffs is a better place. You have more open area, all those parks and all the waterfront. Edgartown is so packed together.
Yeah, it is tight. So,
but
Jeffrey,
Yeah, I've only been to Martha's Vineyard a couple of times. Actually,
it's so beautiful there.
it is. It's absolutely
yeah,
beautiful.
we used to go.
But I'm not a beach guy, and I hate crowds.
well,
Yeah, we used to go every summer and watch the kids jump off the bridge.
the Jaws Bridge is packed
yeah.
down there.
Just about every one of my kids has jumped off that Jaws Bridge.
Well, we did it when we were kids, and my brother has a boat in Vineyard Haven at Tajmo, and we'd always take his boat back to Edgartown. And for years, you anchor at the bridge, swim ashore, jump off the bridge a couple of times with 3 kids, and then go to Edgartown and get to eat, drink, and be merry for a while.
Yeah.
And my youngest one, he's 10 years old, Benjamin. No, he was like 8. They finally let him watch Jaws, but when he was 6 or 7, you jump off the boat, swim ashore, jump off the bridge a couple times, and then go back to the boat, go to Edgartown. And they let him watch the movie finally when he was like 8 or 9. And then my niece, the older 2, me, my brother, were all in the water saying, "Come on, Benjamin, get in here." He's like, "I'm not going in there." Like, why not? He's like, he goes, "This is where you got eaten by the shark." It's like, I go, "Get in here. That's a movie." He's like, "No, this is the shark. This is where you got." I go, "I'm alive. Get in here, you little shit." He would not go in there for that whole summer. It took him about a year before he go back in the water.
Listen, I do not blame him, because when I saw Jaws and then I watched it again in the 80s when I was a little older, I don't go in the fucking ocean. Oh, no. I don't even like going on boats in the ocean.
The only other scene in a movie that would make somebody like that scared of something was Psycho with the shower scene. That's I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
But that whole Jaws thing,
that traumatized a lot of people.
The shark was broken, and you don't see the shark for like over an hour into the movie. And that's how Spielberg kind of turned that into, that's where he exploded. I mean, the shark wasn't working until August. So, in the beginning, it's like when I get eaten, there's no shark. When Chrissy, they had ropes tied to her back and forth. The dock where putting on a pot roast and the dock turns, or barrels popping out of the water. It's like, that's something like they had to adjust it. We don't have a shark. So, but that's where you see a yellow barrel pop out. And now it's like, oh my God, you get nervous when you see a yellow barrel. It's like, because they didn't have
that film was brilliantly edited, putting all those pieces together seamlessly. So well done.
And there was so much, like, Pippet, the black lab, was a friendly dog, and like he got eaten right on the same beach, and he was from Chappaquiddick, and they were filming the scene where I got eaten, and they would have to hold Pippet back because he wants to go down and be with all the kids. And something they didn't notice, because down on the beach on the Oak Bluff side, that's where they had all the Universal trucks. And so basically they're filming, they got off the island finally and got back to California, and they noticed something on that scene where I got eaten. And they go to Spielberg, they show him, they go, we're going to have to go back and redo this scene. And Spielberg's like, what? He's so mad that it was taking so long. He still doesn't want to come to the island. It costs more. He goes, why? What are you talking about? And Brody, you know, the artist, he's like, shark, shark. And then he runs across the bridge and out the jetty when I got eaten.
Mm-hmm.
And when he runs across the bridge, they notice it in California. They're going, look, Pippet, the black lab's lying on the bridge there. And Brody runs right by it. They're going, we're going to have to go back and refilm this because that dog just got eaten. And they're basically like, now you go in there on a computer and scratch it off. And Spielberg's like, there's a lot of black labs. There's no proof that's Pippet. And they left it.
Right.
And so Pippet, I would do signings with Susan because I never did signings. She always writes first victim and signs in. And then I write second victim and sign my. And the real Jaws fanatics would be going, you're not the second victim. What about Pippet? And this is like, now that I know all these little insights, it's like, wait a minute, Pippet never died. Next time you watch it, Pippet's still on the bridge. So I was the second victim.
In between the film and you're working at the Wharf Pub, were you involved in other show business things?
No, I was just too busy. And then like one guy, he would come in all the time. I'm going to do one this fall, I believe it is. Well, next spring. I don't know. He would come in every year. They're making him. I'm doing it. Well, one, there's a documentary coming out. It's just me. Like I've done a few Jaws ones before, but this one guy's doing on like how a little kid in a movie for 1 minute is so popular all over the world. And they showing the kid going on the raft, and I actually get on the raft and swim out. This is a couple months ago. A 60-year-old guy swimming on a yellow raft. So, but it's just like, just little things where how does some little kid in a movie for 1 minute, if that, is still so popular? And then it's just crazy and it's fun. So
it was the reason like I was asking was if you look at your IMDb page, it says that you, sir, that you worked on the soap opera Santa Barbara.
That's one that I could never figure out because I am going to be in another one this fall, but I've done commercials and stuff. But Santa Barbara, I finally gave up on that because it says that everywhere. I was not in Santa Barbara because I'd be doing Q&As at signings. I don't even argue anymore because I don't know how that came up, but a lot of commercials.
Obviously, there's another Jeffrey Voorhees out there. I was once booked to be a guest, like you're being a guest this week on a live radio show in New England. New England. And they were welcoming me with all this brouhaha. Well, there's another Jeffrey Mark spelled the same way who does special effects. And they were expecting the special effects Jeffrey Mark because in their doing research, our names were together and they just assumed it was all one person.
And that's why that must have been a disappointment.
I was going to say,
disappointed
to them because they didn't know what to ask me. We're live. It's not like, oh, you know what? We won't do this. We're on the air. And in fact, it wasn't radio. It was television.
Oh, so that's one that.
So that's why I said I didn't think this was you, but I had to ask.
Yeah. Well, and this thing doesn't look right because you have 3 Jeffs and who's it? Some Ben. You shouldn't be in here. Isn't this some Jeff talk show? Or...
That's right. I shouldn't be here, but nobody else can push the buttons. Oh crap! So we are coming up on time. So, Mr. Holman.
Yeah, I have my last question. When are you going to write a fucking book?
Oh, that's what everyone keeps like. This documentary is like coming out, and now it's like I'm not working that much, so that's where the website. This guy put that together. He goes, he got a hold of me. Can I put a website? I go, I was thinking about it. How much do you charge? Oh no, it'd be an honor if I could do it for you. And he put that whole thing together, and he put that raft together. He's really nice, and like if I do a sign of my own, I call him and say, okay, give me 50 photos of me dying. 50 before I go in the water, but things like that and documentaries and a book, that's where I'm not working. That's one that people keep asking me. So it might happen. I'm lazy though. You know, the first year or two after I threw in the towel of work, being a workaholic.
Well, you gotta rest a little bit. I mean, being dead is hard.
Yes. Well, it's bad the first 10 years because you still smell like a carcass. But after 10 years, like this shirt I'm wearing now, if I got to get a drink after this, I can't have red wine because where the bite marks are, it will stain the shirt. The red wine comes through, but you know, it's just the bite marks. When you film in the movie, you know, everything came back pretty much. If you film a movie, you know, arms, legs, everything comes back except for the hair. The hair never came back. So you get eaten by a shark, your hair never comes back. You know, that kid had a lot of hair. I got my arms back, my legs back. You know, just little.
Well, you know, there are Jeffrey. There are good things with age. Your body parts grew back, but you know, it might be. I had a punchline all set, and it went right out of my fucking head. Oh,
that's why you're
golly.
just special instead of special effects. Wow, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. You forgot the last one last week too?
No, I just had a one-liner last week that made everybody laugh. And it was on him. Oh crap.
So I think
the joke was gonna be it might be you dead to be hard.
Hard to be dead.
Hard to be dead.
Hard to be dead until you reach a certain age, and then it's dead to be hard. But that's
hard. The hardness is dead.
Forget it.
Dead. You get used to it. I've been dead
the joke is dead, is what happened here.
Well, you fucked that one up.
It expired before that joke expired before it came out of my mouth. It was just.
Oh,
I can feel the headstone in my throat before I even said it.
I'm gonna say nothing.
They should do a parody film. What's that nude beach down there? There's a nude beach.
Lucy Vincent.
Yeah. They should film a movie down there with the same, you know, shark movie and shit, but all naked people and call it Eaten.
Eat me.
I can't.
And it would be fine to have that movie. You can't have that. You can't have that in the title part of the month, I guess. Different times of the month. You know.
Jeez.
Well, you know, sharks. Oh, I'm talking about sharks. I don't know what's in your mind. It's like
bloody hell, man.
Oh my God.
Bite me. Mr. Holman.
Wow. Yeah, so I asked about the book thing. I love your dog. Love the dog.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, absolutely. 150 pounds. Do you like cats?
Oh, no, I'm a dog person. Everyone's like, you're getting older. The dog's supposed to get bigger. I mean, smaller and smaller. And for years, a golden retriever and then a German shepherd, the Newfoundland, Saint Bernard, Bernese. They're getting bigger and bigger. It's like, but it's a lap dog. I run my dog on the beach where I got eaten every day. And, you know, she'll sit on my lap coming back just from the beach. But they got this crazy thing. This thing, if you park wrong, Islanders chat. And I run my dog on the beach where I got eaten, State Beach. I'll run her up to the bridge, back to where my car is. And in the morning, no one's down there. But they have signs, no dogs on the beach. And I'm down there early in the morning. No one's there. Screw this. And I've been on the island for years. And the guy's filming me. And it's a big St. Bernard jumping up and down. I'm waving. I knew that, you're not allowed on the beach. It's like I'm waving. I knew the guy was pissed. And I just keep going. And then I get down to the work, and someone's like, you're on Islanders chat. And it's like, this guy's breaking the rules. He has his damn dog on the beach, and there's a big St. Bernard jumping up and down. I'm waving. And then people respond. The first one's like, that's not a dog. That's a ghost. That's Pippet. And that's the beach Pippet got eaten. That's the beach I got eaten. And so it's like, that's Alex Kintner and Pippet. They're dead. Leave them alone. Ghosts are allowed on the beach. And then someone's like, oh, Alex Kintner and Pippet, that's the ghost. Leave them alone. And someone's like, don't worry, a ghost dog can't shit on the beach. Leave Alex Kintner and Pippet alone. They've been dead for years. And this guy, after 2 or 3 days of people abusing him, he just took it off. So
I love it.
That's
love it.
awesome.
Still on Amity Island, Martha's
Right.
Vineyard.
Mr. Jeffrey Mark, do you
Yes,
have
sir.
any last questions for our amazing
Yeah,
guest?
just one quick one. Working on the film, obviously you couldn't have known because Spielberg was really just getting started. Did you have a sense, or do you have any special memory of Spielberg interacting with you?
He was really young, and that was like, as you said, he only had one other movie before, and this is where he exploded. But he was really nice to kids, so he felt bad. A bunch of little kids were all freezing our ass off. He felt bad, and he's like, "Oh, let's have some cookouts and baseball games." And we'd be down there, and you have Richard Dreyfuss, Roy Scheider, everyone out there playing baseball, and then we look over and we go, "Who's that guy?" And it's like we didn't know actors, and so the guy cooking's like, "Oh, that's Robert Shaw. He's a big," and we were little kids, so we run over, "Hey, how's it going?" And you can smell booze before you got to him. And he's like, he sounded just like in the movie, "Get away from me, you little shits." He wanted nothing to do with kids. "Hey, you little shits, get away from me." And down in town, it's a small town. So we would see him walking around reading scripts in the spring. And we used to go in the alleys and jump out. "Hey, Mr. Shaw, how you doing?" Just to piss him off. And he's like, turns around. It's like, so we had fun doing it. And we knew where they stored the shark. But Robert Shaw, Spielberg was really nice. So we would have cookouts. And then one thing, people always laugh. They go, "How could you the parade scene, the kids banging on the drums where they go around the corner?" And they hired the Eggertown Boys Club band. And I just moved to the island. I played the drums. And we're practicing for that scene. And Spielberg sees me. He comes over. "Jeff, what are you doing over here?" I go, "I'm in the band." And he goes, "You can't be in this. You got an important part. You can't be in this scene." I'm going, "I just moved here. I know these are some new friends," and I'm getting tossed out of that. And Spielberg, it was funny because people always they always laugh and go, "You screaming at him?" Because I go, "I'm in the band. You got to let me. I'm not dead yet. You got to let me be in it." He's like, "No, your scene's right after this. We can't. It's too close to it. You're gonna die like the next scene after this." And he goes, "You can't do it." And he threw me out. And then for days later, I would see him all the time. "Steven, come on, I'm not dead yet." And finally, after 4 or 5 times, he finally goes, "I give up. You're not dead. You can be in that scene." So it's like he was really nice. So, and he broke down a lot me do it. People like, "How did you call Steven?" And he telling him he broke down and followed your rules. It's like, okay. But people every 4th of July, when you go on websites, they always have the kids banging on the drums and they circle me in it. They go, "There's Alex Kintner. He's going to die in the next scene." It's like the little kid with long hair banging on the drums. He let me be in it. So that was always funny because you got to know.
I did not know that. That's cool.
Right.
I only got $40 a day to bang on the drums, but he let me do it. He wasn't going to do it at first.
Thank you, sir. That's the story I wanted. Thank you.
Yeah.
Persistence pays.
Yes.
Persistence pays. So with that being said, folks, we are over time. We don't want to keep Mr. Voorhees all night. But definitely head out to Frightmare on the Falls in Niagara. Pay attention to his website. Follow him on the social medias because then you'll know where he's going to be to sign something for you. And then, right? So, Mr. Jeffrey Mark, we'll go to you.
Yes, sir.
Where can people find you on the social medias?
Well, on Facebook, spelled just the way it is down there, Jeffrey Mark. We also can find me on Instagram, Jeffrey Mark Showbiz, all one word. I'm in LinkedIn, Jeffrey Mark. Turn on your electric toothbrush. I'm Jeffrey Mark. And then, of course, we have 2 sister shows. GPE presents Jeffrey Mark Plays Ella. That's Ella Fitzgerald. That we can be found on the very same networks and stations and platforms, video and audio, just like you get this wonderful show I'm so proud to be a part of. And Ben is the producer, and Jeff sprinkles his love all over it. And we do some occasional specials about other singers. We're doing one about Ethel Merman, 5 episodes. So check out our other shows. Check us out on media, and we're always so happy you're here with us because I love doing this show, and I know you do too.
Just Google Jeffrey Mark. Something will pop up.
Even me.
Probably him.
Oh, when I say it, it's not funny. Jeff Bowman, it's your turn.
Oh, geez. I want to thank Mr. Voorhees for joining us. I learned a few things, actually, and I've watched that movie every year for 50 years. Well, I probably missed a few. I just don't remember those ones. You know? So anyway, go to stilltoking.com or Toking with the Dead on Facebook. You'll find everything you need to know about us right there. Yeah, have a great Wednesday.
All right. Again, we want to thank Mr. Jeffrey Voorhees. You plug your website one more time, sir, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, all one word, thedeadalexkintner.com. Pictures of me dying all over the place. A lot of blood.
There you go, folks. So, again, those links are in the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching this or listening to it. Again, we want to thank Mr. Voorhees for coming out, spending some time talking about the 50th anniversary of one of the biggest cinematic hits ever. And, of course, one of the biggest cinematic kills ever. You know, yeah. I totally lost my train of thought.
I was going to say, did you just lose your train of thought?
One of the most famous pieces of seafood in history.
It went.
Yes.
Did you see it? It went.
Yeah, I watched it happen. It was interesting.
Why don't you
to
thank
see.
our first responders and get back on track?
Hey. In all seriousness, to all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do so people like us can come up here and do what we do. Stay safe. Stay out of the water. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.
Have a happy.
Have a good one now. Enjoy.